The day I found a second engagement ring in my boyfriend's car, I thought it meant he was cheating. But the truth was something I never saw coming. My name is Natalie, and until last winter, I thought I was about to marry the love of my life. My boyfriend, Ethan, and I had been together for 4 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and everything about him felt easy. He was calm, thoughtful, and the kind of person who made you feel safe just by being around him. After a few years together, everyone started asking the same question. When are you two getting married? And honestly, I thought the proposal was coming soon. Ethan had started acting different. Not suspicious, just secretive. He kept his phone face down more often. Sometimes he left the room to take calls. And twice I caught him closing his laptop quickly when I walked into the room. At first, I assumed he was planning a surprise proposal. I even told my best friend Sarah about it. I swear he's hiding something, I said. She laughed. Relax, he's probably buying a ring. I hoped she was right. But then one afternoon, something happened that completely changed how I saw everything. I had borrowed Ethan's car to run errands. Halfway through the drive, I remembered I needed a pen from the glove compartment. When I opened it, I found a small black box, the kind jewelry stores use. My heart started racing immediately. For a moment, I just stared at it. Then I opened the box. Inside was a diamond ring. Not just any ring, a beautiful engagement ring. My hands started shaking because Ethan had never proposed, which meant one of two things. Either he was planning to propose very soon, or that ring wasn't meant for me. I spent the rest of the afternoon trying to convince myself it was the first option, but something about the ring bothered me. It didn't look like something Ethan would choose. He knew I hated big, flashy jewelry. This ring was the opposite. Large, expensive, almost dramatic. That night when Ethan came home, I didn't mention it. Instead, I watched him. Every movement, every word, trying to decide if the man sitting across from me at dinner was secretly planning a proposal or secretly planning something else. Over the next few days, things got even stranger. Ethan started coming home later from work. He said he was helping a colleague finish a project, but he couldn't explain why that required staying out until midnight. One night, while he was in the shower, his phone lit up on the nightstand. I glanced at the screen. A message from someone saved as L. The text preview said, "Did you tell her yet?" My stomach dropped. Tell me what? For a long time, I just sat there staring at the phone. Part of me wanted to open the message, but another part of me was afraid of what I might find. Instead, I put the phone down and pretended I never saw it. But the next day, curiosity finally got the better of me. While Ethan was at work, I checked the message thread, and what I saw confused me more than anything else. The messages weren't romantic. They weren't flirty. They were tense, almost argumentative. Have you told her yet? You promised you would. She deserves to know the truth. The more I read, the less it made sense. Finally, I scrolled up far enough to see the contact's full name. Laura. My heart skipped, because I knew exactly who Laura was. She was Ethan's ex-girlfriend. They had dated years before we met. According to Ethan, the breakup had been messy, and they hadn't spoken since. But clearly, that wasn't true. I confronted him that night. I placed the phone and the ring box on the table. For a few seconds, Ethan didn't say anything. He just stared at the ring. Then he looked at me and sighed. I was hoping you wouldn't find that yet. My chest tightened. Yet? He ran his hand through his hair, then said something that made absolutely no sense. That ring isn't for Laura. I blinked. I never said it was. He hesitated, then shook his head slowly. No, that ring isn't for you either. The room went silent. My mind raced through 100 possibilities, but none of them explained what he said next. That ring was Laura's! Apparently, years before Ethan and I met, he had actually proposed to Laura. She said yes, but only a few weeks later, she called off the engagement. Not because she didn't love him, but because she had been diagnosed with a serious illness. Laura believed she didn't have long to live, and she didn't want Ethan to watch her die. So she broke up with him and disappeared from his life completely. For years, Ethan believed she was gone forever, until 2 months ago, when she contacted him again, only not because she wanted to get back together, but because the doctors had been wrong. She survived. And now she wanted to return something. The engagement ring. The same ring I found in the glove compartment. The messages I read weren't about cheating. They were about something much harder. Laura had been asking Ethan to tell me the truth because she didn't want to be the secret that destroyed our relationship. I sat there quietly processing everything. Then I asked the one question that still mattered. Do you still love her? Ethan didn't answer right away, which told me everything. Sometimes relationships don't end because someone cheats. Sometimes they end because feelings you thought were gone never actually disappeared. 2 weeks later, Ethan and I broke up. There was no screaming, no accusations, just the quiet understanding that some stories are more complicated than they appear. A month after that, I heard from a mutual friend that Ethan and Laura had started seeing each other again. And strangely, I wasn't angry, because the day I found that ring in his car, I thought I was discovering a betrayal. But in reality, I had just discovered the ending of a love story that started long before I was ever part of it.